This video is for education purposes and for your edification and enlightenment and for your growing in the Word of God. And I'd like to talk to you today about the story or the case where in the Old Testament David was incited to count the fighting men of Israel, and where the Bible clearly states that it was God who incited David to count the fighting men of Israel, and then the Bible again clearly states that it was Satan who incited David to count the fighting men of Israel. In 2 Samuel 24:1 it says that God incited David, and in 1 Chronicles 21:1 it states that Satan, and Satan only, did incite David to count the fighting men of Israel. And then my question is, in that count, how many fighting men were found in Israel? Again, regarding the census that David was incited to perform according to the Bible by God in 2 Samuel 24:1, and according to the Bible stating that Satan did it in 1 Chronicles 21:1. The question being, in that count or in that census, how many fighting men were found in Israel? The Bible answers with a clear 800,000 in 2 Samuel 24:9. 2 Samuel 24:9, it says, "And Joab gave the number of the registration of the people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000 men." Another translation states, Joab reported the number of the fighting men to the king. In Israel there were 800,000 able-bodied men who could handle a sword, and in Judah 500,000. Another translation says, Joab reported the number of people to the king. There were 800,000 capable warriors in Israel who could handle a sword, and 500,000 in Judah. So it's very clear that there were 800,000 Israelites and 500,000 warriors from Judah. Then the Bible continues to advise us that in 1 Chronicles 21:5 that there were 1,100,000 people. I will quote 1 Chronicles 21:5. Joab gave the number of the census of all the people to David, and all Israel were 1,100,000 men who drew the sword, and Judah was 470,000 men who drew the sword. And another translation says, Joab reported the number of the fighting men to David. In all Israel there were 1,100,000 men who could handle a sword, including 470,000 in Judah. So you could see that the Bible is very clear on the question and on the issue of, in that census or in that count, how many fighting men were found in Israel. The Bible answers being 800,000 in 2 Samuel 24:9 and 1,100,000 in 1 Chronicles 21:5, the difference being 300,000. You can see that there is absolutely no contradiction. It's very clear. There is absolutely no discrepancy. The Bible is inerrant, and it's more than clear and more than evident that there is absolutely no error, absolutely no mistake, absolutely no contradiction. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. Until the next time, bye.